Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss show. Yeah, I'm gonna try to hurry up and get through this episode because I don't know. Like, I was playing Madden earlier and I did pretty good. It was messed up because I had to beat the Seahawks because I play in Madden. So in Madden, to explain to you guys this year's Madden. Gameplay ain't any different. It's the same as last year and the year before and the year before. But anyways, it's just crazy how like every year they come out with a Madden and then they just feel like, oh, we got this new technology now where players react. Listen, you could play last year's Madden and it will be the same exact thing, or like gameplay at least. I guess in this one they have it now where you could create a character. So you create a character, play as a quarterback. I'm playing as a quarterback. That's the only position you can play as. I think like they have it in the beginning when you're in like your college years, you play as everybody. But once you get signed to a team, I don't know if you could like go through the settings or something and play as a bunch of different people and things. But like the AIs is just dumb in there. I sat there and threw the ball at the one guy and could have possibly scored a touchdown, and he wasn't even facing me. Like, he was standing there and just wasn't facing me. And I'm like, I just don't understand that type of stuff. Like, you guys claim every year you guys got some new technology in those games, and it's the same thing. If not, the AIs just get dumber. Like, they're not responsive to your guys' new technology, alright? Maybe you need some actual new technology and not something that's probably been used already. But anyways, yeah. I'm playing for the Buccaneers. Yeah, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I wanted to play. I thought like you can sign to the Seahawks or something, but like no, they was just all like, no. Russell Wilson's there. And that was like another thing about the game. They're claiming like I don't know what technology they're using, but they have it where all the players like they'll have it where players like send you text messages within the game. They all say the same thing. They'll be like, so you play, so like I was playing against the Seahawks. By the way, it demolished that game. Like it was like 50. I took a picture of it. I had to because I'm like, nah, that was good. It was like 50 something to 17. Like I straight demolished those guys. There was no way that they were catching up with me. But anyways, yeah, before the game even started, Russell Wilson sent me a text message talking about, oh, he was like, I'm better than you and things. Now, listen, because I follow Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson just doesn't seem like that type of person where he's saying that unless he's playing around, like in the video game, we best friends or something. But yeah, like I feel like Russell Wilson just wouldn't say some stuff like that. He wouldn't go out of his way to text me just to say that he's better than me. First off, how did he even get my number in the first place? Like, yeah, sending me text messages like that. I'm like, bro, I don't know. They have it in the game where it's like you can praise him, intimidate him, and all these other things. But I sent them a message like, don't send me no messages like that. Please don't. Because I'm like, if you're gonna send me a message, send me something positive. You know, like I'm not here for all that. But yeah, it's like Madden's kind of weird. Like I don't know. I just play it because I'm like that. It's cool. You get to create a character again and play as a created character. I'm that person. I like playing video games where you can create your own character. I don't mind playing video games where you can play as different characters and stuff. But for the most part, I like creating my own character and things. So yeah, that was the only reason why I bought this year's Madden. I did buy last year's Madden, but I traded it right back in. Yeah, because it was like, nothing's changed. Like, this was the same Madden I played like 4 years ago and things. So, and like, one would have thought like something would have changed. Like, it's just with Madden, like, it's one of those games where it's like they don't need to release it every year. They just only need to release it like once, and that's it. Like once. Maybe wait some years, release another one, and you know, like, only thing that they really need to do is just update the teams. Like, that's it. But, like, they come out every single year with it, and it's like, bro, I don't know, y'all, like, doing something wrong when you're releasing those games. Like, just don't do it. Don't release these games every year. But all EA and all these other companies, they gotta make their money and stuff, so I don't know. Me, if I make a sports game, I'm releasing one sports game, and then after the graphics and everything is outdated on that, then that's why I'm like, okay, then I'm going to release me another one, and this time make it better than the last one. Like, I'm going to be spending some hours on this game. I feel like that they finish these games like within a month's time. Like they do give it some time, they work on it, but they finish it like after a month, and then that's when they start like posting it and publishing it and doing all these other things, because they don't spend a lot of time on these games. They really don't. But anyways, yeah, if like they got AIs not even facing me and stuff, yeah, no way possible that they're focusing on these games. But anyways, what today's episode is supposed to be about, I just had to get that Madden rant out. But customers. I wanted to do this podcast, so I'm just talking about like customer service, all that stuff. Like overall, like my experiences dealing, like, you know, being a customer and then helping out customers. But it's like when you dealt with like crazy customers and rude customers, it seriously changes your perspective on being a customer in a different establishment. Like, before, I honestly don't remember how I acted. I feel like that I pretty much act the same way. Like, I don't know, like definitely how these guys act like in a customer service area. Like, they have to act like that in their work field, at home, everywhere. Alright, because when I go into a place, I'm respectful. I talk with them, I smile with them, I be polite, I'm nice. You know, if they don't say anything to me, then overall I'm not going to say anything to them. I'm like, however you're treating me, that's how I'm going to treat you. So I just keep it going. But like, I'm not rude. I like, if they do like ask me how my day's going, I overall respond. At my job, and I've been working at this job for like 3 years now, and a lot of these customers I've been seeing like on a regular basis, but they'll walk up to me. I ask them, hey, how's your day going? All right, just like with every other customer, they just ignore what I say and then just hand me their credit card. Like, there's times they just don't say anything. And I'm like, I don't know. I can't go into a place if I know that's how I'm going to act. Like, if there's a place where I know I don't like it, I'm not going to go back in there. You know, and it's like, I think, did I ever tell that story on here? I feel like I did just recently tell that story in one of my podcasts or in a YouTube video. I honestly can't remember. I think it was a story time that I did for my YouTube channel, but I don't even know if I've even uploaded it yet. But anyways, no, there was this guy at GameStop's was like trying to sell me this GameStop's card, and I'm like, bro, I don't want it. And he's acting all crazy with me. This is the guy that works at GameStop's. He's acting all crazy with me, so he was giving me attitude, and I gave him attitude back. But every other like GameStop's clerk that I've dealt with, we've been cool. We've talked about video games. We talked about our personal lives. Like, overall, it's people like, there's one day I remember, it was pouring down rain, all right? Pouring down rain. My ride didn't even show up yet. So I was in the GameStop just waiting. You know, I was like, you know, eventually it'll probably stop raining. But it's like, it was like dumping. Like, if you live in Washington, like, it is, you know, like, rain can get bad out here. But anyways, it was me, it was a friend of mine from high school, and this GameStop's clerk. And the three of us, like, I guess they were already friends and things, and I was just like a mutual friend with the guy I went to school with and stuff. So yeah, it was like we knew each other. We sat down, we talked. You know, I would consider him a friend and things. But anyways, we were in there just chatting it up, talking. You know, just three people just hanging out pretty much. One of them was working, but overall, like, yeah, it was just three people hanging out. So it was like, I don't understand like why it can't be like that everywhere. You know, like, honestly, if I owned like a restaurant or a store, I had like, of course, like the name of the place, but underneath, like, if you have an attitude, turn around. Like, please don't come in here. Because I know people are going to be all like, oh, everybody. I just feel like that everybody has an argument for something. Now, I feel like in a situation like this, there'll be that one person that argues why they should have an attitude when they go into some place. I'm like, listen, have an attitude. Do what you want to do with your life. I really don't care. But when you bring that attitude to somebody else, especially if they've never even done anything to you, like, I just don't understand, like, how that's, like, a thought process. Like, you're, like, this guy, like, somebody's talking to you, and you're just not even acknowledging them. Like, just to, like, tell you guys about my job, because they ain't, like, all the customers are like that. No, there's customers where it's, like, if I'm rich, like, I'm possibly going to, like, give something to them, because there's like, so let me just talk about the good customers for a second, because the good customers, those are the customers where I'm like, I'm happy to see them. Like, after just dealing with like a line of just rude customers, there's that like one customer where I'm like sitting down talking with them and I'm like, yeah, I just dealt with a whole bunch of rude customers. So I'm gonna just say this real quick. Like, I'll deal with a whole line of like rude customers, and I'm like, yeah, overall, like, I'm gonna be upset because I'm like, why are you guys even coming in here? But there'd be that one like customer that I'm cool with. Why would I give them an attitude because like some other people got an attitude? Like, why would I treat them like the way I've been treating these people? Like, yeah, overall, like, I'll probably tell them, like, you know, yeah, it's like these customers, man, like, there's some of them where I'm like, please don't come back in here again. But I'm not gonna give that nice customer an attitude. Like, that's just not who I am. But I feel like overall, like, that's how these people are. They probably dealt with some like crazy people at their job, and now they feel like, oh, I gotta act crazy with everybody else. I'm like, no. That's just not the way of living. Like, it's no. I'm not saying that it's not allowed, but I'm just saying, like, acting like that, where is that honestly going to get you? Like, it's gotten to the point, because I remember when I started at this job, and I was like, you know, I ask everybody, like, how's your day going, regardless if they ask me or answer or not. Now I just don't even, like, if I know that they don't say anything, I don't even ask them. I don't. I'm like, it's annoying when I'm like talking to somebody and they're just like not responding or not saying anything. Now I'm like, I don't want to yell at them, but I feel like if I was like that angry 40-year-old black man, I probably would have snapped on somebody. But since I'm the young 20-year-old male that's just noticing everybody's, like, you know, flaws and problems, I feel like overall, like, that's just going to help me, like, grow as a person. Like, okay, this is how they act. Hopefully when I'm at this age, I won't be acting the same way. But anyways, back to the good customers. There's customers there. And then there's like good customers like all throughout the day. So I'm like, that's cool. Like, you know, as I'm dealing with like rude customers, there's like good customers like going into my job all throughout the day. And I'm so like, and honestly, like, to any of the customers at my job that be like watching my podcast or watching my YouTube videos, like, you guys just like, I feel like if they know that I make YouTube videos, that's like a trust that I've given them and things. Like, that's where I'm like, I give you, well, I don't know how to like really place it. Would they be giving me their trust, or would I be giving them my trust? I feel like overall I would be giving them my trust because I'm telling them about my personal life. See, this is what happens when you don't like pay attention in school about stuff. Because overall, this is something that I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. What am I saying? I'm not going to restart this podcast. No, I'm 13 minutes in. Like, no. Overall, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Alright? That's just like, I feel like that's like one funny side about me. That it's like, I'm going to be saying some things. I will mess up. But overall, you know what I'm talking about. That's just honestly how it is in my whole family. We all do that. We all mess up on words, but we know what the other person's trying to say. Like, that's just, I don't know, that's just something that I've grown up. I guess, like, with other people, they'll look at you like, what are you trying to say? But then, like, if you grew up in my household, you knew exactly what I was trying to say. Now I gotta, like, go back and then try to say it all over again. Overall, I trust this person with the knowledge of what I do with my personal life. See, there I go. Like, that's on that for those out there that hasn't grown up with me. But for those that have grown up with me, yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyways, yeah, it's like I've gotten to the point where I'm like, with the like cool customers, like, I could tell them about my personal life. Like, I'm just not giving them the like basic like clerk to customer talk. Like, no, we're sitting here talking as if we were like good, like we've been friends for a while now. I mean, there's customers that I've seen there that I've known for like some years, but then also it's pretty dope. Like, there was like one of my friends' moms had worked there. I got a couple of friends from school there. Then there's like other customers where I'm like, I didn't know them until I started working here. And it's like, I felt like I've known them I have known them for some time, but it just feels like that, man, like, I really, like, I know, like, when it gets to the point in time when I'm doing YouTube and everything, like, full time and stuff, like, when I have more time for it, I think I might just do that. Like, I might just get these guys as like, I don't know if they on social media or like your phone, something, but I'm like, I'm gonna have to like keep in contact with you guys. I might have to pull like a David Dobrik for some of these customers and just randomly give them like $10,000 or something when the time is right. Cause no, it's like they to at least to me, like they just don't know how much like that means, where it's like you just being super nice, super cool, like regardless if you're having a bad day and things, like you're overall being cool with me. Like there's customers where it's like they'll tell me about their personal lives, they tell me about stuff that they got going on at work. Like, you know, they might be dealing with some rude people and things, but we just come down, like, they come down to, at least to my floor and things, or anytime they see me, and then we just start talking, like, we just start, like, chatting it up and things, and so, overall, like, I feel like that's, like, yeah, that's cool that there's customers out there like that, but then you got the rude customers. Now, I've been dealing with, I remember my first rude customer, the lady, she, cause I was like, this job that I'm currently working at was my first job ever. Like the only thing I was doing before this was YouTube. I mean, I was making some money off of YouTube, but not a whole lot. So overall, yeah, I had to go out and get this job if I knew I was gonna like be, cause I most likely wouldn't have the laptop I have. I probably wouldn't have had a PlayStation. There's like a lot of, so overall, this job, it's helped me out a lot, like with my personal life and things, like with YouTube and everything. But back to the rude customers. But yeah, so my first rude customer, because I think I had messed up. I pressed like the wrong button, and I overall didn't know what I was doing. See, at my job, they have it where it's like every item is on this like keyboard thing. So they have like multiple items on one button, and I'm trying to like look through everything and figure out like where is this at, and things. And it's like it was all like in one area, but still I'm like trying to like figure out like, or I mean it was like the drinks was in one area, breakfast food was in another area, then lunch food was in another area. And I'm trying to like, okay, well, where is this at, and things. And it doesn't help, like, there's an employee there, like, she's just making me feel like I'm the worst, like, cashier ever and things. Like, I can't help it that this is my first job and stuff. But anyways, that'll be a different episode. Bad employees and things. But no, at my job, though, like, no, I say there's probably, like, one employee, and that was it. Every other employee that I've dealt with, like, they for the most part, they've been pretty cool. Like, I'll have to say, like, where I'm at right now, at this job, like, yeah, I have to say, employee-wise, like, it's solid. It's pretty cool. Like, I mean, there's, like, previous employees where I'm like, you know, I wish you guys was here, too. But, no, it's like, what I got going on now, it's pretty dope. I like it. But, anyways, so I messed up on, like, the button pressing. And the lady was like, I can't remember what exactly she did, but I remember the two cashiers at the time, they looked at me and was like, you just dealt with your first rude customer. And I'm like, oh, like, I didn't know this. Like, I just thought that she was in a rush or something. Like, I didn't know that she was being rude. I guess now I have to pay attention to that. And, but no, there's customers where I've noticed that they've been rude and things. Like, there's people that come in there till this day, and it's like, you'll ask them, hey, how's your day going? No response. Just pretty much just silence. I'm like, okay, so total will be this. Hands me their credit card, still not saying anything. I'm like, alright, have a nice day. Walks off, takes their food. I'm like, what did I say that was wrong? Like, you want me to say, hey, get out of here. Like, nobody likes you. Like, is that what's gonna get them to say something? Like, I gotta cuss you out or say, like, it's like things like that where I'm like, if somebody is talking to you, respond. Like, and you know what? The thing is, because anybody can listen to this podcast, anybody can hear it. So, some way, somehow, if a rude customer, like, at my job, if they do hear this, say something. Like, I'm saying, like, it's just rude. Like, and that's like, how would that make you feel if somebody was acting like that towards you? And it's like, necessarily, it's like, probably, like, most people wouldn't care, but I'm like, no, like, this is like where I'm like, if I'm seeing you, like, I see you I work 5 days, but if I'm seeing you for a whole week, pretty much, except the weekends, and you just don't say anything, and it's like that for 1 week, and then another week, and then another week, it gets to a point in time where it's like somebody has to ask the rude customer, why do you still keep coming back down here? Like, it's a thing called bring in your own lunch or go somewhere else. I mean, dang. Like, go to a place where it's like, it's going to make you happy. But I don't know. Like, I think I've been a rude customer once, and that was the GameStop's guy. But overall, like, anywhere else, Safeway, Target, GameStops, or any other GameStops, like, yeah, I've most likely been cool with everybody there. Like, I'm not rude, I'm not crazy, I don't ask for much, I go in there, get what I want to get, and I leave. Like, overall, like, yeah, if they're talking with me, if they're telling me about stuff, like, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, if they ask me about my day, I'm like, oh, it's good. Like, I'll have to say, for the most part, I'm cool with everybody that I pretty much like, except rude customers. But I'm pretty much cool with everybody else that I've interacted with. Like, there's some mornings I go to the Starbucks. Cool with everybody there. Don't act rude with them. Don't act crazy with them. I go in there. I know what I want. All right. Tell them have a nice day. I keep it going. Some mornings I go to Bartels. Get pretty much same thing everywhere. All right. I just don't act rude with people. Overall, that's just not who I am. Like, that's not my character. Maybe these guys' character is different. Everybody is different in their own way. But I just feel like that if you're gonna be dealing with somebody on a regular basis, you should try to, like, be somewhat cool with them. Like, I'm not asking for your hand in marriage, okay? I'm not asking for $20. I'm just asking for, my day is going good. How about yours, all right? Like, just a response. Like, it's just something where it's like, man, like, I know you guys, like, is this how you acted? Like, well, nah, I ain't, like, I feel like if I am gonna say things, I shouldn't take it too far, but it's like, man, like, it's like, do you act like this with everybody else in your life? Like, I don't know. Like, I can't come back home or, like, go back home and things and act like that with my family. Where just, like, they ask me, how was your day and things. I just don't respond to them. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about people like that. But it's like, man, like, I know a job cannot be that stressful to where it's like, I mean, overall, like, yeah, everybody's job can be different, but it's like, man, if it's like your job is having you that upset or that mad to where the point it's like people are talking to you and you just not responding, and then they haven't even done anything to you, and it's on a regular basis, I don't know. Me, at some point in time, I would try to find me a different job. But it's like where I'm at, I don't know. Maybe it's just who I am as a person to where it's like, yeah, my job, it can be like, stressful at sometimes. But overall, like, I'm just not going to treat people badly in things. It's like I'm going to be cool with everybody there. So it's like I have no reason to be mad at people, especially if I don't know them. They come up to me and they're happy and they being cool. Like, I'm overall going to respect that. I'm like, how you're treating me, that's how I'm going to treat you. So, and there's customers there where they be, and it's like, it's just dope where it's like there's customers there where they're telling me about their personal lives. Like, I got customers telling me about their husbands, their wives. Got customers telling me about their kids. I'm like, man, I don't even have kids. But it's crazy you're sitting here talking with me. Like, I mean, it ain't like crazy, like, why is this happening? But it's just more so, it's like, I would have never thought something like this would have happened to me where I'm like sitting down and like I was sitting there giving this one lady advice about like how to help her kid like sleep at night, because I think the kid was like sleeping from like night terrors and stuff. So I was just all like, oh, you should try this or do this and things. I'm sitting here giving this lady like advice about kids. Like I don't even have kids. Like, how is this even happening right now? Like, how? Like, it just doesn't make any sense in things. And it's like, what other things? Like, there's customers where it's like we be sitting there talking about video games and stuff, like making each other laugh about just like some things. Like, customers I joke around with. Like, yeah, overall, like, there's customers where it's like I'm just like really cool with them, and I'm like, man. Like, if I was, like, because, like, if you guys watch that YouTuber, David Dobrik, go watch one of his videos. He's just giving back to his friends. I seriously would do that with these customers. Like, just make a video, like, every day for, like, a whole year. Like, just, or, well, I don't know. It ain't, I possibly could. Like, there's, like, those customers that's just, like, really cool. Like, but can I do it for a whole year? Like, maybe, like, once a week or something. Like, I don't know, give them like freaking $5,000, $10,000. Just do something to where it's like just giving back to these guys, letting them know like y'all greatly appreciate it. To the rude customers, I don't know. get them a book about being happy. Like, man, it's like I don't know. I can't act like that for like if I had to, like, if somebody was like telling me if I lost a bet and they said I had to be a rude customer for a whole week or something, or for a month, I would have snapped, because I'm like, I can't be that person. I'm sorry, but I can't. But anyways, yeah, like there's just like, and then there's like other customers there where it's like, it's just like, it's, I don't know, it ain't like rude, but it ain't like, they just keep it going, they just like, they respond and stuff, like they talk. But overall, it's like not somebody where I know about their personal lives. Customers like that, y'all cool too and things, but it's like you're overall not being like, rude and stuff. So anyways, this podcast, I don't know, I might have like a sit down and a talking with the manager, but it's like, no, it's like, even the managers, it's like, no, like, y'all gotta notice this too, right? Like, y'all gotta, like, and I'm like, I don't ever want this to be to a point where it's like, because no, I feel like everybody deserves to be open about stuff. Like stuff that, like, overall, it's like, it kind of leaves you, like, I'm not saying like this is the one thing where it like leaves me upset for the whole day and things. Overall, like, when I clock out, like, I'm like, my mind is gone from work. Like, I'm not thinking about work. I'm thinking about my personal life. I'm thinking about everything. I'm thinking about chicken strips, Tyson chicken strips to be exact. Like, my mind is gone from work. But it's like, as soon as I walk in there, I'm like, dang, man. Like, it's like, these customers, they're gonna just, once again, another day, go and ask them, how's your day going? It's like, it's just rude when it's like, you sitting there, like, you ask them that, and then they might be doing something else, or they start up a conversation. I've had customers do that too, where it's like, I'll ask them, how's your day going? They just look at me like, he's speaking English, right? And it's like, I just don't understand. Then there's like maybe like a couple of seconds, like, oh, hey, Bob, how's that meeting? You get those charts done? And I'm like, all right, I guess I was speaking Charlie Brown talk or something. I guess what I was saying, it just wasn't like, I mean, like, you overall just asked that person the same thing, but like, I just, I don't know. Then there's customers where I'm like, we'll sit there and be talking, they start like telling me about there's customers where it's like, I don't know, like, they don't get like too personal about it, but they'll tell me like anything they'll just have like, they'll start up a conversation, They'll just like, they'll tell me something that's going on in their lives, like, and I'm like, you know what? That's dope. Thank you. I'm like, even though it's like, this has absolutely, I mean, like, I'm not saying I don't care, but I'm just saying, like, what's your personal life? It has absolutely nothing to do with me, but you're sitting here and you're taking the time to tell me what's going on in your life. All right. It's funny when those customers where they're like, they think they're being rude. Because it's like, over like, they might be having a bad day or something. But overall, they're being cool. So I'm like, there's just customers out there where I'm like, the rude ones. Like, before you get into a place, like, check your attitude. See if it's okay. See if other people can deal with it. If not, turn back around. Go somewhere like really quiet. Scream as loud as you can. Get all of that anger out. And then try again. Try it again. Get all of that, like, man, join a kickboxing class. Like, take your anger out on, like, some punching bags or something. Play some video games. Freaking, I don't know, like, feed the pigeons downtown. Them pigeons be flying all over the place. Like, it's like, they feed the pigeons. I don't know, give some homeless people some money or something. Like, do something where it's heartwarming. Do something where it's going to overall have you happy. But it's like, you just gonna be going around just mad. Like, I just can't be around people that's mad all the time. I'm sorry, but I can't, like, even outside of work, I'm like, there's people I know that they're like mad all the time. Like, it's my personal mission to make that person laugh. Like, I have to do something to where it makes this person laugh. Like, it's like, you just mad for no reason. I'm like, nah. Like, you hanging out with me, like, guaranteed you're gonna laugh at something, okay? We gonna be laughing about something, alright? But, yeah. With rude customers, you don't even know. Like, you really just don't know with them. It's like, it's up in the air. It's a slot machine. Like, it's just crazy where it's like, out of nowhere, it's like, when you just develop that in your head, like, okay, this is a rude customer, then out of nowhere, they just start, like, being, like, cool and stuff. Like, I had one customer, he was like been rude. They pretty much ever since he started there, ever since I noticed him and things. But yeah, been rude ever since. Then he started up like a conversation with me. I'm looking at him like, it was so like weird and bizarre too. Like it was just some off the wall stuff. Like it seriously, it was like a ball hitting the wall and bouncing off. Like it was like what just happened? And it's like what I just how do I respond to this? Like it's something that it was overall I couldn't respond to it. I'm just like letting the conversation just take its course. But I'm like how like what do you do? Like is this multiple choice? Like what? How do I answer this? How do I give you a response back? Like it just be some like off the wall stuff. They were all like, hey, back in 1984, Michael Jackson and Barney got into a fight. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know, man. Freaking 2.5. Like, how do you respond to some stuff like that? Like overall, like if somebody did say that to me, I've been looking at them. I'm like, okay, so whatever you want, you might want to go to the bathroom and try to get it out your system and stuff, cause that ain't normal. Like who even Barney was even out back in the 80s? Like I don't know. Like they did. It's like it'll just be super random too. Like it's just be so random. They'll just say some random stuff like, hey, the Teletubbies and NWA was supposed to make a joint album, but they couldn't do the Jerry Heller. And I'm like, what? Like it's like stuff where it's like, what are you talking about? Like I asked you, how's your day going? You respond, that's your response? Like, man, then maybe I'm supposed to respond to, like, hey, I'm a YouTuber, my name is TMossBoss. Like, we just gonna be throwing out random facts out there, I guess. But yeah, it's like stuff where I'm like, what are you talking about? Like I don't know, man, I don't know. It just be weird sometimes. And then that's one thing, like when there's customers where it's like, and I've noticed that where they're like cool with certain people but then just treat you crazy, because I've noticed that with some like customers. I'm like, I don't know, customers like that too. I'm like, nah, it's like you're gonna be cool with me or somebody else, and it's like you gotta be cool with everybody. It's like we are like, I don't know, if they giving you an attitude, then that's one thing. But it's like if they haven't and they haven't even done anything, you just overall just being crazy with them and stuff. Like, yeah, it's like I don't know. I can't be cool with that. So overall, yeah, I think like rude customers, like you guys need to like read a book about like happiness, okay? Watch some heartwarming movies. What's a good heartwarming movie? Watch The Goonies. The Goonies is good. It's a kid adventure movie. I mean, well, there are probably customers that don't like kids. So what's another heartwarming movie? For adults, I don't know, man. Like whatever you're into, I guess. Like if it's comedy, I don't know. Watch something funny. Like watch like a funny video before you come into the place, man. Watch some like cats and dogs like chasing a squirrel or something, and then somehow like the cat and the dog runs into each other. Like I don't know. Like watch something where it's like it's going to make you laugh. And then go into like, man, like that's honestly, I'm like, I'd like do, like if you feeling rude, like I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna set up a monitor, and I'm like, press this button if you're upset. You press the button, and then it's just gonna be like some pandas like rolling down the like slide or something, or like a cat and a dog like watching TV together or something. Like overall something that's just gonna have you feeling happy. Or I don't know, some kids just like cracking up laughing, like some like infant babies like cracking up laughing or something. You just sit there and you watch that until you smile. All right, you just do something. But anyways, yeah, it's gonna be like, yeah, that's just gonna be my personal project and things. But anyways, yeah, I got an old computer I'm not using. I can set that up. But anyways, yeah, there's good customers, and there's bad customers. Overall, whatever like form of the overall, the happy customers, they're the ones that's like, okay, like I deal with, if I do, like I can deal with like 500 rude customers. If there's that one customer that's just happy, they cool, like they overall, like they just like, if they see like all these other rude people, then they're all like being cool with me and things, then yeah, that's like the one thing that just like it changes. Like, yeah, if I'm like, I might be a little like irritated, all these rude customers coming in, and there's like multiple restaurants in the area and stuff, then I'm like, man, go there. Like, I know y'all got a house. Make some food at the house. Do something, all right? But yeah, there's that, like, I'll deal with like a whole bunch of rude customers, and there's that one happy customer, and I'm like, you know what? you made my day. You're the like reason why, like, any rude customer, like, I can deal with them, but that one little, like, that memory of what we just had, that moment, like me and you being cool with each other and things, like, I like that. Like, thank you for that day memory. All right, but overall, then after that, then it's like, once I'm out of there, it's like, man, I just be so, like, I'm just happy, like, when it's like the place closes, I'm like, good. Like, I mean, yeah, it's messed up that, like, the good customers can't come through, but it's like them rude customers, like, man, like, there be days where I'm like, just like be wanting to just like slowly just close the door while just staring them down or something, but no, that'll be rude, and I don't want to show any signs of rudeness. But anyways, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching, however you're watching or listening to this podcast. Thank you for the support. Shout out to everybody supporting it. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching / listening, and peace.